Afternoon YouTube, it's Sam from Sam's Garden Maintenance. This video today guys, I want to talk to you about a group of people or a part of my business that I refer to as rain dodgers or weather dodgers. And basically I've narrowed it down to there's basically three types of customers that are in this pool. And what it is it's people who cancel when it rains. Now, I'm not on about extreme weather, obviously, you know, we weigh it up ourselves case by case. I always think to myself, if it's bad weather or it's been bad weather, what's the garden like? If it's got lovely free draining soil, there's other stuff, and you know, you're not going to tread the earth down or mush the grass up, it's fine to do it. I make that call, and I say this to customers now, I make this call because how I see the property, and I say all this to them, is that your property and the job I'm leaving behind is basically a representation of my business. So if I come and I make a mess of it and people see it, it looks bad on me, and I don't want that. As I said to them, I want the property to look as nice as it possibly can. Now that pretty much solves majority of them, but I'm sure you've got them, I've got them, other people have got them. There's just certain people that will cancel no matter what. They're just waiting to cancel basically. So like I said, there's three types. The first type, and the easy one, is out of caring. They will cancel because they think, oh, I don't want you working in it, Sam, it's too wet, it's a miserable day, come another day if you want. Nope, it's not a problem. I said I'll be there as normal. I says I'm used to working in the outdoors industry, doesn't bother me. I've got plenty of jackets. It's like today, awful day today. I've got hoodies, spare jackets, I make sure they're all dry, gloves, waterproofs, hat. I don't like wearing hats, but I'll fucking wear one in this weather. And I say, look, don't worry at all, I'll be fine in it. Yeah, brilliant, just checking, you know, I just want to make sure you're all right. Brilliant. And then you're fine, you've set the tone, rain or shine, you'll be there, their garden will be fine. The second type, and this is where it gets more tricky, is some customers, and I think it stems from when they used to do the garden, because they wouldn't mow in the rain, because why would they? They live at home, the garden's attached to their home, why would they go out in the rain when they can do it another day? So they either don't want us for that reason, it's sort of instilled into them, or whether as they've grown up, the parents have said, oh, don't garden in the rain, you don't do that. Or whether they've heard something. Now I heard another YouTuber, Greg from Geek to Freak, he said he had the exact same. A lady had cancelled because she'd heard on the radio that you can't mow the lawns when it's wet. I've had customers say this, I've had customers even say that if you mow the lawn, you will rip my lawn up. I'm just like, oh, what, like it'll snag on the grass? No, you'll physically pull the turf up. And this isn't a lawn that's just been laid, this is a lawn that's been 100+ years. So, like I say, you are sort of off to a losing battle with that. And I basically say to them a bit of the same of what I said, that look, I'm here to make your property look nice. And I also point out to them that I am self-employed, this is my full-time job, so to speak. I work in the UK. And I say stuff like that so it resonates. They think, oh, I live in the UK. Oh, I know what self-employed means. Oh, he's not just doing it as a bit of a gig on the side. Because some people think that. I don't know why. They have a garden and they think that we've got other jobs. Maybe because that's how the other gardeners used to have. But even with the uniform, the nice van, the nice tools, they still think it's a hobby for us. So they don't feel guilty when they push us off. So I always make a point of saying that. And I just say to them that, look, I says, you live in the UK as well, again trying to get things that tick in their head. And I say, you know how much weather we have, bad weather. I says, if I cancelled every time it was bad weather, I would not be doing this job, and you would have to look for a new gardener, because I would be better off getting a job inside. And then that sort of hit, and they think, yeah, you know, you're right there, no problem. And they're a bit hesitant, but once they see it, they're fine. I honestly think the gear I've got, the gear you've got, we can knock out a lawn in a pissy weather and it will look probably 95% as good. Like, I'm very careful with leaving little droplets of grass. I'll always blow them away or collect them, but by and large I do try. I always use a roller, so if it's a nice patio, I always cock the roller up and just go on the 2 wheels, so it reduces any soil being left, any grass like little lines on it, or I'll even lift the mower and take it, because the last thing I want is someone to ring up and say, oh, I told you not to mow in the rain and now you've got grass stains on my patio. So we do give a shit basically, and I give a shit and you give a shit. So it does sort of annoy me when people cancel. And then there's a third type of customer, and unfortunately this is the one that you're on a losing streak. This third type is basically looking for any excuse to cancel. And I've had this before, and it's always the shit customers. It's never the nice people who pay a good service for a good price. It's always the low amounts, the £20 lawns, the ones that are already a nightmare, so you'll go and you'll price it, and then it's always a nightmare people, you know, shit access, dog shit on a lawn, you name it. It's never a good customer that you end up losing to this. And basically they're just after an excuse to cancel. So it'll be raining, oh, the weather's bad for this week, can you come back in a couple of weeks? And I'm like, oh, it's all right. I said, it's giving a break in the weather tomorrow, I'll come but it'll still be sopping wet through. I says, yes it will, but I said it'll be fine to mow. I says, don't you worry, I've invested in good quality kit so I can do a good job for you. Oh no, it's all right, come back in a couple of weeks. Now obviously any change to my schedule annoys me, because we all keep tight routes. So somebody who wants to then go from a Monday and then they say, oh, can you come back in 2 weeks? Well, you're losing a visit for one. And then the very latest to that is if, say, you do stick to the not working in the bad weather, well, we could have 4 days of bad weather, 5 days. So then you're going on a Friday, and then they won't want you coming back in a week, which is what they should do in a way, because you're keeping to that schedule. So then you have to push them 2 weeks from that date, if that's what they want, or if that's what you want, and then it sort of bollocks your schedule up. And like I said, I keep it tight, so I do people, if I've got, it's like I've got one lady and she cancelled, and she was on, basically I do 4 properties over the road from her, and she was the outlier, and it was a case where I had to have a word and just say, look, I keep my route very tight, and in the end she said, yeah, no problem, I'll just, you know, I didn't want you to get wet. But if I wouldn't have said that, well, she would have been every 2 weeks, a week ahead of everybody, so it would have just knocked it all out of order. So I do try and keep it, and this is what grates on me with people. Now, like I said, that third person, unfortunately, you're not going to get very far with him. I've had it where I've said, okay, no problem, and then that's been the warning. In the past, I've put up with it, and I've learned all this, what's happened, I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned if you give people a little bit, they'll hang you with it, basically, and it'll be forever like that. So try and set the tone, try and set the precedent when you first go, because otherwise you'll be forever, you know, oh, it's been a bit bad today, another day, and you cancel it. And like I said, they're just looking for any excuse to cancel. So suddenly, you know, you're on the back foot. So now if people are like that, they'll get one chance. If they do it again, they'll be gone. That's it, I'm sorry. But on for setting a tone, setting a precedent. Get this nailed down at the very beginning. I've actually now, when I do quotes, I actually tell people that I'll be here every 2 weeks, you know, rain or shine. Oh, you work in the rain? Yes. And I explain all what I've just said to you guys, and it's fine. It sets the tone, it gets people used to it. I had a lady I took on actually last month. I got to a couple of weeks ago and it was raining. First day it was raining. I'd rung her up the night before just to book her in, and she says, oh, it's been raining today. I says, well, it's not a problem. I said, it's giving a nicer day tomorrow. Yeah, but it's still going to be sopping wet from, don't worry, I says, and I gave her that same speech what I've just said to you. She was fine then, she saw the results, she was happy with it. I always make the customer do a walkthrough, so I'll take her outside, this is the lawn, this is how it's going to look every single time. Brilliant. Same with the front lawn, brilliant. I've come today, pissing wet down, she's, you know, still done it, still looks the same, she's happy. It's setting the tone, and I think that's rife in so many different things that us gardeners basically have to do. It's all about setting the tone. You know, don't let people push you around, don't let people dictate how you run your business, because otherwise you'll have it where it'll be turning into when they want you to be there, basically. So it'll be forever, oh, I can't do this, come this day, I can't do that, come this day. And then before you know it, you've probably should have done 15 visits over the season, 20, whatever, and then you've probably done 8 or something because they've just cancelled. And then you're there, running your mower over higher grass, stuff like that. But that's just the lower end. I think many people won't let it get to that. But I'll be honest with you, I let it get to that. I'm guilty of it. I've, let people walk over. This year's different. It's, as I said, one chance and then that's it. But like I said, if it's extreme pouring down, we've all got to work together. But by and large, the majority of people, some people out of that, the minority do take the piss. The majority are fine. So let me know what you do. Let me know if you have a dodger policy. Do you humour them? Let them know. Do you say, yeah, no policy in a fortnight's time because that fits in with your schedule? I had it once with one customer where he cancelled because in his eyes he said, oh, I don't think I get the same value of money from you. I might, but it looks exactly the same. I've been here for 4 hours, it looks exactly the same. Yeah, well, I just think because of the weather you do more. And then about 2 weeks later, he had a couple of months later, sorry, he had like a party something, and he wanted it getting ready for then. And he says, oh, are you still coming tomorrow? I says, no. I said, I'm cancelling because I've been rained off. Oh, well, I wanted it get all done. I says, oh, no. I says, remember last time? I says, it's just not the same, is it, Greg? And he backed down then. But I didn't go. It was wet, but ever since then, he was fine with me working in the weather. So you've got to do it sometimes. I know it's a bit cheeky of us gardeners, but it's what it is, guys. Hopefully this has helped. I'd like to know what you do. So let me know, guys. Have a good day. Keep on gardening.